Good evening and welcome to Justeventoneline Weekend News at 9. I am Anifat Ismail. The news headlines. Shettima reaffirms federal government commitment to protecting traditional institutions. Federal government disbursed 3.7 billion naira to tertiary institution workers under TISSF. Nigeria pushes continental effort to reduce cancer death. Magaji empowers 1,000 constituents in third phase mega empowerment program. Kwara South Integrity Group in zoning not recognized in APC. Fourth misleading claims by Kwara North Group. Over 10,000 gender-based violence cases recorded in 8 months. Nigeria must keep critical health workers to curb medical tourism, NMA President says. Now the news in details. Vice President Kashim Shettima has illustrated the commitment of President Bola Tinubu's administration to preserving and safeguarding Nigeria's traditional institutions. Shettima stated this on Friday at the 45th anniversary celebration of the Emir of Gume, Alhaji Sani, and the commissioning of the Gume Central Mosque in Jigawa State. The Vice President described traditional rulers as the closest leaders to the grassroots and custodians of societal values, whose influence and institutions endure beyond political tenures. The federal government has announced the disbursement of 3.7 billion naira to workers in tertiary institutions nationwide under the Tertiary Institution Staff Support Fund, marking what the Ministry of Education described as a major step in fulfilling the welfare commitment of the Tinubu administration. The ministry, in a statement released and signed by its Director of Press and Public Relations, Falashade Buriowo, said the TISSF had moved from policy formulation to measurable impact, with about 2,000 staff members across 43 universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education benefiting from the first tranche. The federal government has called for stronger pan-African collaboration to tackle the continent's growing cancer burden, warning that cancer now kills more Africans annually than HIV and AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis combined. Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Isiaq Salako, made the call on Saturday while addressing delegates at the Africa Oncology Collaboration and Innovation Forum in Luxor, Egypt. He attributed the rising incidence of lifestyle factors, aging populations, late diagnosis, weak early detection systems, and gaps in treatment infrastructure. The 10th Kwara State House of Assembly leader and member representing Ilorin Central Constituency, Honorable Barrister Magaji Abdul Qadri, on Saturday rolled out the 2025 third phase mega empowerment program, reaching 1,000 beneficiaries across the constituency. The empowerment, held at Ekwa School, Ojaya in Ilorin, featured the distribution of items aimed at boosting small businesses, enhancing self-reliance, and expanding income opportunities for the constituents. Items include freezers, grinding machine, sewing machine, salon air dryers, popcorn machines, and cash support packages were presented to the beneficiaries. Speaking at the event, Honorable Magaji reaffirmed his commitment to human capital development and grassroots empowerment, stating that the initiative is part of his continuous efforts to uplift households, support artisans, and strengthen economic resilience within Ilorin Central.
Our message is that they should continue to support Malam Abdurrahman Abrazak. They should continue to support APC. They should continue to vote for us. And inshallah, the dividend of democracy will reach everybody soon.
Thank you very much, sir.
But my remark is that the work of Malam Abdurrahman Abrazak in Kwara State is transcending to the grassroots. And it's obvious from the happiness on the faces of the people who are gathered here today. We are celebrating his legacy and we are continuing his footsteps.
The Speaker of the House, Honorable Engineer Saliu Yakubu Daladi, was represented by his deputy, Honorable Ojo Olaiwola. Other House members present and APC leaders commended the lawmaker for what described as a consistent, people-focused intervention that has already transformed lives across the constituency.
Thank you so much. Something about life that is good to be done when you find yourself or when you have access to something other people don't have access to it. Make sure you assist them. You see, when you talk about business, something that is small to someone, that is his or her own business. And when you look at all the materials we have here, in the house, most of them will be happy. Most of them will be happy to have something like this. And thank you to God, we will continue. Another thing that is important, Dr. Abraham, in our we followers, we have no choice than to follow his footsteps so that we also assist. And as you can see, we've been having series of government in this state, but no government is as good and fantastic like Abraham Abrazak government. So he has put all of us on our team to do more for people.
They said his constituency support project demonstrates his dedication to inclusive development and sustainable empowerment of his people.
We are here today for the better empowerment of our
The Kwara South Integrity Group, under the All Progressives Congress, has dismissed the recent statement issued by the Kwara for Kwara North movement, describing it as misleading, unconstitutional, and driven by entitlement politics. Speaking with the newsmen on Friday, Shagun David Buoye, on behalf of the group, reaffirmed that every qualified member of the APC, regardless of senatorial district, has the constitutional right to contest the 2027 governorship ticket. He faulted attempts by Kwara North movement to portray endorsement by certain traditional rulers, urging the group to stop dragging them into politics.
Respond to the misleading press statement by Kwara for Kwara North movement issued by Kwara State Integrity Group, Kwara South. We had noted the reaction issued by the so-called Kwara for Kwara North movement in response to our press release on 3rd of December 2025. Ordinarily, we would have had no reason to respond to the frayed political group whose only strategy is to rely on zoning as pathway for their entitled and anointed aspirants. However, for the purpose of political education and correction of misconception that may mislead the public, we find it necessary to respond and clarify the issue raised.
The group equally declared Kwara South readiness to produce the next governor of Kwara State in 2027, citing competence, experience, and solid political structures, while encouraging aspirants from our senatorial district to pursue their ambitions responsibly and respect the Constitution.
Constantly and responsibly that Kwara South is ready to produce the next governor of Kwara State in 2027. This is not an endorsement demand. This is not an emotional demand. It is based on preparedness, committed individual, years of political experience, strong structure across the state, proven leadership capacity. We are already engaging stakeholders within the states. Our constitution are peaceful, logical, and aligned with party rules. We will not be distracted by noise campaigns or pressure tickets. So,
the Kwara South Integrity Group also reiterated its loyalty to President Bola Tinubu, the APC, and party leadership at all levels, while pledging to support whoever emerge after the primaries.
Supporting Kwara South does not negate the right of aspirants from other districts. We encourage every interested individual from Kwara North, Kwara Central, and Kwara South to pursue their ambition responsibly and respect the party constitution.
The federal government has said no fewer than 10,326 gender-based violence cases were reported between January and September 2025, with 2,444 survivors receiving care recovery centers. The Minister of Women Affairs and Social Development, Imam Sulaiman, disclosed this at the National Multi-Stakeholders Dialogue on Technology Facilitated Gender-Based Violence. The minister, represented by the Senior Special Assistant to the President of Women Health, Adana Stenaka, said 511 survivors had been supported with livelihoods and empowerment interventions. The National President of the Nigerian Medical Association, Professor Bala Haudu, has emphasized the need for the country to retain its critical health workers, particularly medical doctors and specialists, through commensurate welfare packages in order to reduce medical tourism and improve the nation's health indices. Haudu made the call while briefing journalists at the close of the NMA's National Executive Council meeting held in Abeokuta, Ogun State, with the theme, Beyond Crossroads, Unlocking Health System Potential Through Partnership. NMA President said Nigeria, despite its challenges, is known to have highly qualified medical practitioners who provide high-end medical care across both private and public health facilities, not only to Nigerians, but also to patients coming from abroad. And that will be all on Justeventoneline Weekend News at 9. Here's the recap of the story. Shettima reaffirms federal government's commitment to protecting traditional institutions. Federal government disbursed 3.7 billion naira to tertiary institution workers. Nigeria pushes continental efforts to reduce cancer death. Magaji empowers 1,000 constituents in third-phase mega empowerment program. Kwara South Integrity Group insists zoning not recognized in APC. False misleading claims by Kwara North Group. Over 10,000 gender-based violence cases recorded in 8 months. Nigeria must keep critical armed workers to curb medical tourism, says NMA President. Thank you for watching Justeventoneline News. Liberate your mind to see positive in every development and situation. For more news, visit www.justeventoneline.com, and to read more updates, follow us on our social media platforms with a tab at Justeventoneline. You can also send us an email on justeventoneline@gmail.com. I am Anifat Ismail. Good night.